paedophile network murdered 3 children. Operation Midland is part of a larger inquiry into the Elm Guest House in southwest London. It's alleged children were abused there in the 70s and 80s. London Mayor Boris Johnson has told LBC it's important to get to the truth.
No matter that everybody says it was a long time ago, clearly there are victims of those crimes and they need to have their suffering needs to be respected. We need to find out exactly what happened.
The National Crime Agency has started an investigation into child sexual exploitation in Rotherham. It's ahead of a full inquiry next year and will look into action taken by the police. More than 1,400 children were sexually exploited in the town between 1997 and 2013. Here's Rotherham MP Simon Danchuk.
I would hope that the National Crime Agency will achieve something. If you look at the terms of reference for this investigation, it's quite clear that there's been failure by South Yorkshire Police and that the NCA are having to intervene to try and ensure that arrests take place, and that's the bottom line in all of this. We want not just investigations and reviews and reports. What we want is the prosecution of rapists of children.
Tickets for London's New Year's Eve fireworks show are being resold online for more than £200. It was announced 2 days ago the £10 tickets had sold out. 500,000 people attended last year's display, but only 100,000 tickets were offered for sale for this year's. The European Court of Justice has made a ruling which could mean the UK can't block some immigrants entering the country from outside the EU. A man with dual British and Irish citizenship has successfully argued his Colombian wife shouldn't have to get a visa every time she visits Britain. The government says it's disappointed with the decision. A man who ignored pleas from Boris Johnson to calm down on a flight from the Far East has admitted assault and being drunk on an aircraft. 43-year-old David Morris from Hampshire was on a flight from Kuala Lumpur earlier this year when he became abusive. LBC weather: cloudy and breezy with some patchy light rain for London and the southeast, highs of 14 degrees. Mostly cloudy and windy with some rain for central and southern England, heavier showers over Wales and Northern Ireland. For Scotland and the north of England, scattered showers throughout the day. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Eleanor Noakes.
From stuffing stockings to fixing family feasts, we know you're out there giving extra this festive period. And at the Halifax, we think people who give extra should get extra back from their bank. So, as usual, all of our branches are open every Saturday. That should make your festive banking extra easy. Halifax, the people who give you extra.
Check your local branch for Saturday opening times.
This is LBC, leading Britain's conversation. Mystery Hour with James O'Brien. Call 0345 6060 973. Tweet at LBC. Text 84850. Mystery Hour with James O'Brien on LBC.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store.
It's 4 minutes after 12 and welcome to this year's Christmas Mystery Hour, which I'm delighted to tell you can enjoy in glorious Technicolor at the LBC website. In fact, if I were to tell you that if you did make your way over to lbc.co.uk at this moment in time, can I say that you're guaranteed a giggle? Not normally in the course of Mystery Hour, I offer a guarantee of increasing your knowledge. By 1 o'clock today, you will know more than you do now. But I'm fairly confident that if you head over to lbc.co.uk, not only will you be able to watch Mystery Hour in its entirety, which, I grant you, ordinarily just involves watching a bloke in a box answer a load of phone calls, but on this occasion, if you're there now, you've probably already registered this. But not only have we introduced a truly charming Christmas theme to proceedings this year, we've also provided a visual treat for you, which I think will be appreciated. So, lbc.co.uk. Do that before you ring in, actually. Get over there now, seriously. I don't do this very often. I haven't done this very often. But I am absolutely urging you to watch rather than listen to this hour of the programme if you possibly can. Don't feel left out if you can't. If you haven't got access to a screen, to the internet where you are, or you're too busy doing important things, then it will be available. It will be on YouTube, I imagine, by 2 o'clock today. Let me, by way of a hint as to the treats you may enjoy when you tune in to lbc.co.uk, I'd like to register my thanks to Angels here in London, the costumiers to the stars. Do you think you can work out what it is from that little tribute? Anyway, what's Mystery Hour? I'm preaching to the choir. I need to talk to people who aren't familiar with the treat that is Mystery Hour. What it is your weekly opportunity to get an answer to any question that you please. It doesn't matter whether it's a who, a why, or a ho-ho-ho, a whether, a whither, or a whence. If you've got a question to which you're fairly confident there must be an answer, but you don't know what that answer is, then dial 0345 6060 973 at your leisure. It's quite tough to get through. If you hear me say the number, it means that I have got a phone line free. And if you hear someone else ask a question to which you actually know the answer, then the number remains the same. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Are we ready to go? Is everyone good to go on this? Are you online yet? Have you had a look? Start sending me messages. Tell me what you think. Send me a text to 84850 or a tweet to @Mr. James OB. Graham in Bushy, you can get lost. I am actually employing lots of extra padding, you cheeky monkey. Have you worked out? Yeah, are you there? Are you here? Are you with me? Are you with me? Ho, ho, ho! It's Mystery Hour! Giles is in Horsham. Giles, what's your question?
Hello. I was wondering, why does time go quicker the older you get?
Are you sure it does?
Well, it seems like it does. So I'm 29. It seems like it was only Christmas just the other day.
Whereas when you were a kid, the stretching out from one Christmas to the next seemed endless. Isn't it just because you're a lot busier?
I don't think so. 'Cause you're quite busy when you're a kid, sort of school and playing and stuff. But it seems like a week used to take forever, and now a week just flies by so quickly. I've only really noticed it the last year or so.
At the age of 29, it doesn't get any better, mate. I've got to break that to you gently. What about the individual hours? Because I was talking to Michael, the producer, today about how this week the show seems to have flown by, and I don't know why. So some days I would never suggest it was like pulling teeth, but some days it feels slower. Whereas this week I've glanced up at the clock for the first time in the course of the programme, and it's been sort of 11:30 already, and I felt it was about 10:10. Do you recognise that as well, or is it just the age side?
It's hours, weeks. Years.
Why does time speed up the older?
Must be something to do with brain chemistry or something, I guess.
Do you reckon? I don't know if it'd be that complicated. We'll find out though. You're not watching me online, are you, Giles?
No, I'm driving.
You're driving, so you can't come and sit on my knee then.
Unfortunately not.
It's your loss, pal. It's 8 minutes after 12. You're listening to James O'Brien, sort of, one of my many alter egos, live on LBC. Ron's in Wood Green. Hello, Ron.
Hello, James. I've got a question, but I've actually got a theory on the other one, but I know how strict you are on,
good.
on the time then quick. So I'm just going to ask a question, and it's sort of relative to the last hour.
Yes.
But I was wondering, why do we call the end of a cigarette a dog end? When you put it out in the ashtray, it then becomes a dog end. And I just wondered why. Why a dog end? Did dogs used to smoke or something? What's it all about?
Why not a dog? I mean, so you're saying you could understand why it was called a fag end?
Yeah.
But not necessarily a dog end. A dog end. Do you know, I just this is going to sound a bit weird, Ron. I'm not going to ask you to come and sit on my knee or anything like that.
Good.
Can you see me at the moment, or are you just listening in on the radio?
No. Listening.
You can't see me. Have you worked out what the visual treat might be yet?
Oh, well, there's some sort of distortion of an image in the head, yeah.
So it just sounds, I don't know if we want to go there. It sounds a bit North Korean. I'm not distorting any images. I'm fulfilling a childhood dream. But I just finished a book by Peter Ackroyd called Three Brothers, which was brilliant. And it actually had that, I thought, exactly the same as you. I read that and I thought, why dog end?
Yeah.
Why dog? I can't see what the link is with a dog.
I was hoping to get your analysis of it, like a stupid answer, but you obviously
I haven't got one. Why dog end? I had another question I wanted to ask this week, but I've forgotten it. It must be the beard. Ron, I shall do my best for you. So what have we got? We've got, you carry on. Thank you. If you know the answer to either of these two questions, call 0345 6060 973. Why does time speed up the older you get? Does it start slowing down again when you get over the sort of septuagenarian hump? And why dog end? 0345 6060 973 is the number that you need. And if you're just discovering me on the internet at lbc.co.uk, well, welcome. Ho, ho, ho. Peter's in Norfolk. Peter, question or answer?
Oh, morning, yes. Answer to the first question up.
Well, oh, really? Why does time speed up the older we get, or seem to speed up?
I've been out of touch for 2 years since I moved from London. I got a new DAB radio, and suddenly you appeared. Or rather,
So this is the first time you've heard me in 2 years?
Yeah, I've been effectively knocked out for 2 years.
You poor man. Well, I mean, this is the...
Moving from London, I just lost all London stations, and suddenly with the new DAB radio, that you were...
So just say that again so that we can clip it and play it out as an advert.
When I moved from London, I thought I'd lost all local stations, and when I got a new DAB radio, I was just scanning through, and suddenly your voice.
Well, we're national now, so I mean we followed you to Norfolk. So you are my first happy customer because I am Father Christmas today.
Well, thanks very much.
No, thank you very much. Can you remember why you rang in? Because I can't.
Yeah, just about.
Go on.
It's the first question up about.
Why does time seem to speed up?
Yes, it's. I'm going to tell you straight away that I firmly believe there's no definitive answer to that. So you may be a little disappointed.
I like the way. 2 years out of the game, mate, but you still remember the importance of going definitive. I like your style, Peter.
Yes. It crops up in physics when we talk about special relativity, and time dilation comes into it, and what is time. These are very deep questions and difficult to answer, but we all experience in life this idea of time sort of has a varying rate.
Yes.
And the best I can tell you, as to regards people, we all experience this getting older. 10 years seems to fly by when we're 50 or 60. I mean, it seems like just the other day I was 60, I'm now 70. What we believe, we've modelled it, that time seems to flow past you, which is directly, in a way that is directly proportional to your age.
Really?
That is to say, somebody who's 15 years old, it seems to take an age to get to 20, more than 5 years. Now, someone who is 30 years old, that 5 years seems to go half of that.
How do you model it then? When you say you've modelled it in the way that I'm currently modelling a rather fetching Santa suit.
Modern is that is the expression. Time is directly proportional to your age. So from 40 years to 50 years, somebody who is 20, that 10 years seems to be only 5 years when you're double that age. In other words, when you're 40 to 50, seems to take about half the time as it does between 20
But why?
30. Do you see? Well, like I said to you at the beginning, I don't think it's really known. There's a few ideas kicking around, and my one is simply that you kind of get used to life.
Right.
And when you become complacent about it, time just seems to fly past you quicker. We almost experience it on a day trip out. The old saying that it seems to be quicker on the way back.
Yes, it does, because we're familiar with the journey, or we've got a sort of internal clock counting down. I like this, but you're right. You're not going definitive. What are your qualifications, Peter?
Well, I despite my aging years, I still teach physics.
To what, secondary school level?
Well, of course, I'm not allowed to teach. When you're 60, you wake up one morning and the local authority says you're too old and you have to depart.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I ask is I don't want you to feel that I'm pulling rank on you here. It's quite hard to say that with a big beard on. Because I'm about to go to the Professor of the Public Understanding of Science at the University of Brighton. Do you remember him, Peter, from when you used to listen?
Of course, yeah, and I'm envious of his position.
Yeah, well, aren't we all? Let's find out what Professor Howell's got to say, but he might be sharing his applause with you. Professor Howell, I presume it's the time question that's tempted you onto the show today.
Very much so, James. Yes, I think the answer's a bit simpler than that. Our perception of anything is to do with what we've already learned, and to a 10-year-old child, 1 year is 10% of their whole life. That's a major significant proportion. To a 50-year-old, 1 year is 2% of their whole life, and therefore the perception is it feels like a lot less, and I think that's all there is to it.
Peter?
Yes, well, I think that is a succinct way of putting what I sort of stretched out into its proportional to your age.
I'm inclined to agree. Professor Howell, can we split this one down the middle?
It is the Christmas show, James, so I concur.
You're not watching online, are you? I can tell.
I'm actually waiting to go into a funeral in Denham of my old PhD supervisor, so no, I'm not.
Well, that is a reasonable explanation, Professor Howell. rounds of applause all round.
All right, thanks, Prof.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I thought we might have Christmas. Oh! It's 12:16.
This is LBC.
Do you love to make a list? Do you find they help bring order to chaos? A compass for the clutter in your mind? I'm sure you sometimes use them as a mental jog, but I bet the main reason you use them is to put off making a big decision. Like when you're deciding which car to buy. You probably delay the tricky choice by spending more time on shortlists than test drives. I'm sure you'd like to know that with a Mercedes-Benz approved used car, you get 12 months unlimited mileage warranty and free roadside assistance. I imagine that's the sort of peace of mind that could make one of your lists a very short list indeed. Search Mercedes-Benz approved used. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Chris Golds in the LBC Travel Centre. The M3 still struggling northbound from Junction 3 for Lightwater towards the M25. It's because of emergency roadworks. It's taking about half an hour to get through the stretch. If all goes to plan, the Highways Agency are telling me it should be back to normal in a couple of hours. There are also queues on the M25 anti-clockwise from Junction 3 for the M20 heading into the Dartford Tunnel. In Eltham, the A20 Sidcup Road in both directions is currently closed because the lorry's on fire between the Cliftons roundabout and Eltham Road. In Brixton, only one lane open on the A23 Brixton Road northbound at Stockwell Road because of roadworks. And this just coming in for Shepherd's Bush Green. It is at the moment closed to traffic at the junction for the Holland Park roundabout because of an accident. Queues already quickly building on the diversion there. I'm just watching it on camera at the moment. The air ambulance just landed in the middle of the green, in the middle of the roundabout. On the North Circular, there's a car that's broken down westbound at the Cricket Bill interchange, and in Chingford it's slow on Hall Lane at Hampton Road because of an accident. On the Underground, there's mine delays on the Bakerloo line between Queen's Park and Elephant and Castle because the train broke down earlier. Keep your London moving and next travel updates in half an hour.
This is LBC.
Christmas is all about little moments. Drinks parties, surprise family visits, leaving out mince pies for Santa. We at Budgeons are here to help you celebrate every moment. Like the perfect roast. We've got tender, delicious joints of British beef better than half price at £5 per kilo. And why not pair it with a hearty red? Campo Viejo is only £5 a bottle. So no need to brave the big supermarkets this week. There's a Budgeons round the corner, and we've got it covered.
And now it's time for the weather.
And that's all from Don and I. Now it's the lovely Mike with the weather. I bet you've got an interesting story or two to tell tonight.
Well, Michelle, you wouldn't be wrong there. It really has. And now over to the Meteorological Centre for the weather.
Quattro, Audi's legendary all-wheel drive system, gives you confidence in all conditions, so you'll never have to listen to a weather forecaster again. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik.
Broadband connection grants. How could they help your business? I'm here with the director of SSR, Ian Hu, to find out.
SSR began life as a commercial recording studio. The very first band to use us were the Smiths. But now we specialise in creative media education, which obviously involves digital files. Therefore, superfast broadband is absolutely vital. We were delighted to find there was a government grant of £3,000 to go towards our superfast broadband installation costs. I think any company that's looking at superfast broadband should take a look at the government voucher scheme. I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't use it.
Businesses may be eligible for a grant of up to £3,000 to upgrade to a superfast broadband connection. To find out more, visit connectionvouchers.co.uk.
From stuffing stockings to fixing family feasts, we know you're out there giving extra this festive period. And at the Halifax, we think people who give extra should get extra back from their bank. So, as usual, all of our branches are open every Saturday. That should make your festive banking extra easy. Halifax, the people who give you extra.
Check your local branch for Saturday opening times.
This Christmas, give movie lovers the incredible Samsung Galaxy Tab S so they can enjoy more giggles, goosebumps,
I do love you.
wow, or just a little more aww. Give someone an epic viewing experience on the beautifully slim Galaxy Tab S and claim up to £50 cashback. Find out more at samsung.com. Available at participating stores and retailers.
Mystery Hour with James O'Brien on LBC.
20 minutes after 12 is the time. Welcome back to Mystery Hour. Welcome especially if you're joining us on the live visual feed from the studio at lbc.co.uk. Do not adjust your sets. I am in full Christmas spirit. Ho, ho, ho. Let's get back to the phones. We've only got one question. We've already nailed one. So why are spent cigarettes called dog ends? That still needs answering. Other than that, time for your questions. 0345 6060 973 is the number that you need. Eddie's in Epsom. Eddie, question or answer?
It's an answer, James.
Are you sure?
I hope so.
Come on,
I
then.
want that round of applause so much.
Yes, well, it's got bells on today.
yeah.
Sorry, it's just the Father Christmas coming out. Go on.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Dog ends.
Yes.
Why they're called dog ends is because you sling the dog out in the back garden. Same as fag ends in the olden days. When you threw the dog out, you threw the fags out. That's what you do.
I understand why you've said that. I don't. You don't know, do you? You put it in an ashtray, or you don't. You just don't.
Yeah, you sling it out of the back garden.
No, you don't. You put it in an ashtray.
You don't. Everyone has ashtrays. It's old.
What do you mean? Not everyone has ashtrays. If you smoke, you've got ashtrays.
Now you do, because everyone's posh.
What, you think ashtrays are posh? Mate, I am sometimes accused of living in a middle-class bubble, but I am going to confidently call you out on describing ashtrays as a sign of poshness.
That's because you're a champagne socialist, James.
You're an ashtray Tory, pal. That's what you are.
Don't let
a fast tray. You're a fast trayist. I'm not giving you a round of applause for this.
Are you having a draft, yeah?
No, I'm not. There's no way that it's called a dog end because you put it out like a dog.
That's what you used to do.
No, I don't know. I've got a fairly indecent suggestion just come in on Twitter that I don't think I can referring to a certain part of a dog's anatomy, but then the correct answer I think refers to a different part of a dog. I'll give you a little jingle if you want because it's Christmas, but you're not having a round of applause.
Well, I'm a clap.
There you go.
No, you give people less for them.
You got a jingle jangle. You got a jingle jangle, Eddie.
Can't I mean just one little hand clap, just like a clap?
Oh, only because I'm on the telly. Well, I'm not on the telly.
Christmas.
All right. There you go. Teresa is in Wimbledon. Teresa, question or answer?
Oh, yes. Hello.
Hello.
Well, I'm just putting out my Christmas cards, and I wonder this every year. And then I've been listening to you quite recently, and you do the Mystery Hour, so I thought, well, this would be the time.
Marvellous.
So I've got 65 Christmas cards.
Ooh.
I know, a bit less than I usually get. But the thing is, they're all from my friends or my family, and we're quite similar because either we're related or I chose them to be my friends.
Yes.
And every single card is different.
Yes.
And I just wonder what the... Well, it's a mystery to me why people don't choose the same cards.
Well, you must have had some duplicates over the years, Teresa.
This year I have one.
Yeah. So there's just a huge number. There's a huge difference. I mean, I don't think it's a real mystery, is it?
I think so, because we've all got... Yes, I think it's extraordinary that we don't choose a range of 10 different cards, really.
But you can only tell when you buy a pack of 10 what's on the top. So you can't... And even when you buy a packet of 10 from a range, it might have a different 10 in it from the same packet next to it in the same range. It's just a dizzying array of Christmas card designs. And the reason why there are so many, Teresa, is to avoid precisely what you've called in to describe.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Can you see my suit at the moment from Wimbledon?
No.
You haven't gone online to have a look at me?
I've only just started listening to you on the radio.
So you missed all my build-up about how I am currently dressed as Father Christmas?
I could try to do that now.
You don't sound particularly excited or impressed by the prospect, Teresa.
Well, because I listen to the radio while I do other things.
Yeah,
so
I know, but I'm dressed as Father. I'm dressed as Father Christmas.
Okay, you see what I'm dressed as. Okay.
25 minutes after 12. Of course, it could always prove. It could always prove to be a disappointment. As this poor person has discovered, James, I've always had a bit of a crush on you, but having just logged on to your live show, I must say I'm having second thoughts. What? I can only see my eyes. They're my best feature. James is in Chiswick. We know where Chiswick is. Question or answer, James?
It's a question.
Bring it on.
The Royal Mint has just recently announced it's launching the 5th version of the coin with the new Queen's portrait on the coin.
Oh, yes.
But they've never been updated on the stamp. So why is it that the Royal Mint update, every 10 years or so, the Queen's portrait, but the stamp official silhouette portrait of the Queen on the stamps has never been updated?
I suspect you've given this some thought already. What theories have you come up with?
I have got no idea.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's why I wanted to ring in, because I know that the Queen has to sign off all stamps. She's still got the right to sign off the portraits on stamps which bear her silhouette. So they any new edition of a stamp goes to the Queen for approval. But why have they never updated that silhouette? It's still like the 1970s version of a very young Queen on the stamps, but the coins get updated.
No, I like the question. It's not something I've clocked before, but it makes sense. We shall find out for you. So we've got stamps and dog ends still in need of answers. Ross is in the city. Ross, question or answer?
How you doing, James? All right, mate. It's a question.
Good man, thank you. What is it? Hang on a mate. Hang on a minute. I've got a bit of fluff in my eye, Ross. Hang on there a sec. Will you? Can't really concentrate. All right, carry on.
Why is it when you're on the ground and a plane flies over your head, say about 30,000 feet, you can hear the engines and they're loud, but when you're actually sitting on the plane next to the engine, they're not actually that loud? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm just trying to work out if it is true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can have a chat. Sometimes if you're in actually I was at my friend's in the summer and they live even closer to the flight path than we do. And when some planes went over, we had to stop our conversation.
Yeah, but when you're on the plane...
You can always have a chat with the person next to you, can't you?
Yeah.
No. You couldn't have a chat during takeoff when it gets really loud. You'd have to shout a bit. Maybe the engines are at full tilt. But no, because of course when you're in the air, you can still have it.
No, but when they're high up in the air, you still hear them.
Yeah, you can. All right, I like that. Yeah, you're on. Okay. Can you see my beard from where you are, Ross?
I can't. I'm driving. Sorry, mate.
I'm beginning to feel I might have done all this for nothing, mate. Dressed up for no reason at all. It's 28 minutes after 12. LBC.co.uk is the number to call if you'd like to see Mystery Hour being presented by Father Christmas. Maggie's in Weston-super-Mare. Maggie, come on, help me out.
Hello, James. Hello, and I think your beard looks wonderful.
Why, thank you.
I can see you. Mind you need to remove it because you're a little bit muffled.
In what way?
Anyway, I've got an answer for you, James.
Go on.
Dog ends.
Yes.
Shouldn't be dog ends. It should be dock ends. D-O-C-K, dock.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely certain.
Go on.
It comes from many years ago. You know how dogs have their tails docked, or some breeds of dogs do? So it makes the tail very short stump at the back end?
Yes.
Yeah, well, many years ago when workmen used to be smoking, having their smoke break.
Yes.
And then they needed to get back to work quickly, and so their mate would say, oh, never mind about your fag, just dock it, like a dog's.
I think you've nailed it. What are your qualifications, Maggie?
A dedicated smoker, a long line of dedicated smokers, in fact, so dedicated with some that they gave their lives to the cause.
Oh, dear, yes.
I know.
It's earned you this.
But it's actually a dock end.
No, you're right, and that makes sense, and it's evolved into a dog.
It has. Well, they are connected, aren't they? The dog.
No, you've done it. Give the lady a round of applause, or she'll be here all day. Thank you. Thank you, Maggie. It's 12:30. Eleanor Noakes has the headlines.
The Deputy Prime Minister has told LBC he thinks Sony Pictures has made the wrong decision in cancelling the release of a film mocking North Korea's leader. Nick Clegg says you can't let online thugs intimidate people. The interview, which is a comedy, has been pulled after hackers made threats towards people going to watch it. Airlines are to be financially compensated following the flight disruption caused by last week's air traffic control computer glitch. Around 120 flights had to be cancelled and 500 were delayed. Heathrow was the worst hit airport with 10,000 passengers affected. A specialist police unit to tackle international corruption is being set up by the government. It's part of efforts to deal with white-collar crime. The unit at the National Crime Agency will merge existing resources split between the NCA, City of London Police and the Met. After tickets for London's New Year's Eve fireworks show sold out earlier this week, they're now being resold online for more than £200. A spokesperson for the Mayor's office says they've done all they can to prevent reselling, but legally there isn't anything else they can do. LBC weather, cloudy and breezy with some patchy light rain for London and the south-east, highs of 14 degrees. Mostly cloudy and windy with some rain for central and southern England, heavier showers over Wales and Northern Ireland. For Scotland and the north of England, scattered showers throughout the day. From Global's newsroom for LBC, I'm Eleanor Noakes.
This is LBC.
From stuffing stockings to fixing family feasts, we know you're out there giving extra this festive period. And at the Halifax, we think people who give extra should get extra back from their bank. So, as usual, all of our branches are open every Saturday. That should make your festive banking extra easy. Halifax, the people who give you extra.
Check your local branch for Saturday opening times.
Wouldn't a printer which comes with enough ink for 2 years be amazing? No annoying interruptions and no ink cartridges. Introducing the new EcoTank from Epson. With high-capacity ink tanks instead of traditional ink cartridges, it comes with enough ink to print up to 4,000 pages in black or 6,500 pages in colour, saving you up to 65% on average on your print costs. Pick one up in-store or online at Curry's PC World and start saving today. Epson EcoTank. Say goodbye to cartridges.
And now it's time for the weather.
And that's all from Don and I. Now it's the lovely Mike with the weather. I bet you've got an interesting story or two to tell tonight.
Well, Michelle, you wouldn't be wrong there. It really has. And now over to the Meteorological Centre for the weather.
Quattro, Audi's legendary all-wheel drive system, gives you confidence in all conditions, so you'll never have to listen to a weather forecaster again. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik.
An appeal for the children of Syria by UNICEF UK Ambassador Michael Sheen.
The devastating conflict in Syria has reached its worst point yet. Over 7 million children are in danger right now. I've seen this crisis for myself. Winter is here, and in freezing temperatures, children have no way of keeping warm. They're cold, they're frightened, and they're far from home. Without shelter and warm clothes, children will struggle to survive. Yet just £3 could help provide a child with thermal gloves and a hat. Please, text HAT now to 81400 to give £3. UNICEF is distributing life-saving supplies, yet more children need our help. This winter, your donation will be matched pound for pound by the UK government. So please donate £3 now by texting HAT to 81400. Help us keep these children safe and warm.
Text costs £3 plus your standard network rate.
Mystery Hour with James O'Brien on LBC.
26 minutes to 1. James, says Adam. Dog ends, think beagles. I'll give you another 20 minutes before you expire from heat exhaustion in that beard. I'm taking this for the team, Adam. I've got to tell you. I'm not going to surrender my beard or my dignity. We got an answer to that question. We got an answer to the Christmas cards question. Why has the Queen's silhouette on the stamp never changed while the one on the coin is about to enjoy its 5th iteration? And why can a plane in the sky be loud enough to halt your conversation when, if you're on the plane, you can actually hear yourself think? It's 26 minutes to 1. If you've got an answer to any of those questions or a question of your own you'd like to get on the board, 0345 6060 973 is the number to call. We're going for the brace. We're going for the double. 2 professors in the first half of, well, very nearly the first half of Mystery Hour, give or take a moment or two. This is Professor Smith, a Professor of Robotics at the University of Middlesex. Question or answer, Professor?
I've got an answer for you.
To which one?
To the sound in the aeroplane and why it's so small as compared to the sound on the ground.
Yes.
Right, well, there are 2 effects. One is it's partly down to the genius of sound insulation engineers that the sound isn't transmitted into the aeroplane. And the other is that you have a ground effect. When you're above the ground, you get all the reflections from the ground and from the buildings around you, which adds to the noise.
Really?
Yep. But the main thing is the fact that you're in the cylindrical tube and the sound gets reflected
around you, so the waves swerve a little, as it were, or they go in a different direction, whereas
away from you.
You're on the ground, every wave coming out of the engine is going to reach you eventually, and even some ones that don't reach you directly are going to bounce off other things and reach you that way.
Absolutely.
Can I level with you, Professor Smith?
Please do.
I'm struggling a bit now in the Santa suit.
Oh, no.
I'm feeling a bit heavy and hot.
You spoilt my illusion about Santa Claus.
Well, the real Santa is still hard at work in the North Pole, but I have my tribute. So the thing is, I'm feeling a little bit intellectually unconfident, which isn't a common feeling for me, and I don't know whether that is a definite. I'm going to have to consult my elves.
Oh dear.
So just bear with me a moment while I consult the elves on this one. Elves? Bells? Well played, Professor.
Oh, that's
quite a Christmassy laugh, quite a Christmassy chuckle at the end of that. I shall try and emulate that one. Jordan's it doesn't say where you are. Are you in Jordan by any chance, Jordan?
No, I'm not.
That would have been a result. Go on, what have you got? Question or answer?
Question.
Yes.
My question is, I was at a Spurs game down in Wales on Sunday.
Yes.
And it just begged the question, why was I in Wales? Why are there Welsh teams in the English League?
And English teams in the Welsh Cup as well.
Say that again?
There's English teams in the Welsh Cup as well, the Welsh FA Cup. Is it the Welsh FA Cup? I think it is. Because Kidderminster Harriers sometimes play in the Welsh FA Cup.
Okay, yes, and vice versa.
Well, just to make the competition bigger and better. I mean, it would otherwise you would end up with a similar situation to what you have in Scotland, where instead of Celtic and Rangers historically winning everything, it would be Swansea and Cardiff. So they want to play in the Premier League, and I guess the sense of division between Wales and England is not as profound and historical as the sense of division between Scotland and England. It's no more mysterious than that.
Qualifications?
Football fan. And also I looked into it when it looked like Kidderminster Harriers were going to go on quite a good run in the Welsh Cup one year.
James, you
no. Santa, I think you mean, Jordan.
Santa, sorry, I'm not watching you live.
What? No one is. Is anybody there? Is anybody there? Okay, so that is the answer. And a more interesting question in a way historically is how come Israel are in the Eurovision Song Contest, but the answer is just more or less the same because the organisers prefer it that way.
Well, I'm from Israel, I should know that, but I don't know that.
It's the same sort of thing. It just makes the competition more fun.
Oh, you never seem to amaze me, James.
Oh, never. Hang on. Whoa, no. I never cease to amaze you, or I never seem to amaze you.
Never cease to amaze.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Carry on. Take care, Jordan. Thank you. I am really suffering. Where are we? 12:38. Sarko's in Fulham. Sarko, question or answer?
It's a question, please, James. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Likewise, and the same to you.
I rather unknowingly bought a lady's shirt recently that I thought was quite attractive, and when I came to zip it up...
You should I tell you what, if you knew what I came to work in the other day, you wouldn't be embarrassed at all by that. Carry on.
I thought since you were in the apparel industry, the gentleman's apparel industry, you might know the answer to this question anyway. But
indeed I was.
The zip zipped up the opposite way, and I think on ladies' shirts, the buttons button up the opposite way to men's.
I know this.
I thought you might.
Yeah.
That's always puzzled me, so maybe you can... elucidate me.
Well, the answer, I believe, and I will probably go definitive on this, but there may be a steward's inquiry subsequently. The answer, I believe, dates back to the days when ladies would have been dressed by their maids. So actually having the buttons on the right hand of the shirt is a lot easier because the massive majority of us are right-handed. But if your lady's maid were doing up your blouse, you'd want the buttons on the other side to accommodate her right-handedness.
Of course, it all makes sense now.
That's a nice answer. So what are you going to do with the blouse, Sarko?
I've given it to my girlfriend.
Oh, mate, you come on. Just because it's got the butter, there's no such thing as a gender-specific garment. Scotsmen wear kilts. You could have gone away. If you like the colour and the style, you could have rocked it, my friend, I'm sure.
No, it's a very attractive fleece, I have to say. But now that I've realised it's a lady's garment, I just can't bring myself to wear it anymore.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't want to dress up looking ridiculous, would you?
Merry Christmas, James.
Thank you, and happy Christmas to you too. Jill's in Lower Thunbury. Hello, Jill.
Hello, James. You look magnificent.
Thank you, Jill. So do you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. Question or answer?
It's a question.
Yes.
I know you like chickens because we had a talk about chickens.
We did, yes.
And thank you for the letter, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you.
What I want to know is why do we eat turkey for Christmas dinner? When did we start eating turkey? And why don't we eat something like a hog's roast?
I like that question. It's probably something to do with America, isn't it? I'm sure. Has it got an America? Because it's a goose in A Christmas Carol, isn't it? So in Dickensian times it would have been a goose. It's migrated towards Turkey for reasons that probably began on the other side of the Atlantic, but you don't want my speculations and mumblings. You want a definitive answer from someone who knows of what they speak, don't you, Jill?
I would love that. Thank you very much, James.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your charming letter, and a very happy Christmas to you and yours. It's 12:41. You're listening to James O'Brien's Mystery Hour on LBC. Why turkey at Christmas? Also, look, I don't want to start a controversy about turkeys, but generally speaking, it's not a meat you fancy on any other day of the year. It's quite a strange tradition. It's Bernard Matthews products notwithstanding. You very rarely find yourself on a Saturday night thinking, oh, I'll tell you what I fancy tomorrow, a nice bit of turkey. You find yourself on a Saturday night planning your Sunday roast thinking, I have a nice bit of lamb or a nice bit of beef or a nice bit of chicken. Or obviously vegetarian options are available. Matt's in Chiswick. That's the second caller today in Chiswick. People are going to begin to think there's some sort of conspiracy underway. Question or answer, Matt?
It's a question, Santa.
Carry on. Come here, little boy.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Why is the hard shoulder on the motorway, obviously, called the hard shoulder?
Yes. Hard shoulder.
It's been bothering me for at least 3 weeks now.
Is it not because the lane by the side of the road used to be sort of gravelly? It used to be a soft shoulder, and then when it's tarmacked, it's a hard shoulder.
I'm old enough to remember that, but why is it a shoulder? Why is it not lay-by or area of runoff?
Oh, so why is a hard shoulder called a hard shoulder?
Yeah.
All right, you're on. I won't try and answer that myself, given that I normally ban motoring. In fact, I'm a little surprised. How did that motoring question get... Let me just talk to the elves. Stay there, Matt. How did that motoring question get through? I thought we had a ban on motoring questions. All right, it's Christmas. Good answer. Matt, we'll do what we can for you, my friend. It's 12:43. Wayne is in Basildon. Happy Christmas, Wayne.
Happy Christmas, Santa.
Yes, thank you. Can you see me? Have you got me on?
Pardon?
Can you see me?
Yeah, I'll just watch you.
You sound a bit You sound a bit dazed.
Well, I've just got back in the van. Sorry, mate. I've been saving the van.
All right.
I've got a question for you.
Yes.
I was in the pub a couple of weeks ago, at Phoenix, and someone dropped a glass behind the bar, and everyone just erupted with "Hey!" And that happens everywhere, in any pub that you go to. If the barman drops a glass, you get this chorus of "Hey!" I'm like, when did that start? Why?
Did it not happen when you were young?
No, well, yeah, it happened when I was younger as well, yeah. It just seems to...
Well, that's so silly. Well, so am I going to get an answer to that? Someone's going to ring in. You probably have listened to more Mystery Hours than anybody else, Wayne. You've been on almost as often as Professor Howe. You, of all people, should understand how it works. The only possible answer to this question would come from someone who was there the very first time a glass was dropped, and they said, do you know what? I decided to cheer, and everyone else joined in. There's no answer to that question.
There's got to be a publican who's...
No, there's no possible answer to that question.
Come on.
No.
Seriously, there must be.
No.
You know what? The more you ridicule it, the more of a muppet you look.
Well, that is often the case, Wayne, but on this occasion I'm going to back myself. And I don't think because I know, James. I know exactly where the tradition of cheering when people dropped a glass started. You really think someone listening to this programme right now is having that little conversation in their head?
I believe that your audience is widespread enough to cater for that.
All right, then, let's wait and see. Have a good Christmas. It's quarter to one.
I'm Chris Golding. The LBC Travel Centre. Still a bit of a struggle on the M3 northbound from Junction 3 for Lightwater towards the M25. It's because of emergency roadworks. It's taking about half an hour to get through that stretch. If it does all go to plan, the Highways Agency telling me it should all be back to normal by about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Also on the M25, anti-clockwise from Junction 3 for the M20 towards the Dartford Tunnel. Very slow there with long queues. Delays not helped by a breakdown earlier at Junction 2. Much heavier than normal though for this time in the afternoon. Also on the M25, there's a lane closed on the exit slip road towards the A21 southbound, the Junction 5 for the M26. The A402 Shepherd's Bush Green still closed because of a serious accident on the southern roundabout. Queues back to Holland Park Station. Also delays on the West Cross route from the northern roundabout and on the A4 from West Cromwell Road. The air ambulance landed in the middle of the roundabout. In Elton, the A20 Sidcup Road's closed in both directions because a lorry's on fire between Clifton's roundabout and Eltham Road. And on the trains at Victoria Station, we've got delays in and out of about 20 minutes, affecting Garwick Express and Southern services. Some platforms at Victoria have been closed. It's causing some delays and cancellations, so do check before you travel. And on the Underground, there is some good news. The Bakerloo line's now running as normal. Keep you London moving in next travel updates in half an hour.
This is LBC.
On average, 2 people over 65 die in a house fire every week. Please test their smoke alarms regularly. Fire kills. You can prevent it.
Mum! Yes? There are penguins in my room!
Nobody wants to wake up to a chilly home, so it's good to know that if your boiler breaks down, British Gas experts are here for a one-off repair or ongoing care. We're also here for plumbing, drainage, electrics and kitchen appliance repairs. To find out more, call 0800 009 4620 or search British Gas. Conditions and exclusions apply.
Do you know what it's like to be homeless at Christmas? I do. I was sleeping on the streets in the bitter cold. I'd lost everything, my house, my job, my future. But then, Crisis at Christmas changed my life with food, clothes, help and support. So please, will you make a gift of £21.62p today to give someone a place at Crisis at Christmas and bring them in from the cold? Go to crisis.org.uk to make your donation. Your gift will do wonders. Take my word for it.
118434. 118434. 118434.
What are you doing?
Shh, trying to remember a number. 118434.
Do you want to borrow my pen?
Brilliant, thanks. 118434.
Now, whenever you need a number, there's only one number you need to remember. 118434, the handy number for handy numbers.
Calls cost 76 pence plus £1.53 per minute from a BT landline. Other networks vary and mobiles cost considerably more.
The cloud phone system. It's transformed the way we work, connecting all of your staff on any device, anywhere. A simple user interface with features like call recording, video conferences, CRM integration.
Whoa, hold on. What you're saying is there's a smarter phone system that improves service by connecting our customers to our staff, even when they're out and about?
Yes, and there's no need for expensive hardware or...
Experts?
No.
Ring Central, the leader in smart but simple cloud phone systems. See how it works at ringcentral.co.uk.
And now it's time for the weather.
And that's all from Don and I. Now it's the lovely Mike with the weather. I bet you've got an interesting story or two to tell tonight.
Well, Michelle, you wouldn't be wrong there. It really has. And now over to the Meteorological Centre for the weather.
Quattro, Audi's legendary all-wheel drive system, gives you confidence in all conditions, so you'll never have to listen to a weather forecaster again. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik.
Meet Kate. She runs a busy estate agent, which sees her and her team running all over town. When it came to getting company vehicles, the choice was clear. Lease it with Lex Autolease. Aside from being free of the burdens associated with owning a fleet outright, she was able to access stylish new models to fit her business needs. After all, in her line of work, image is everything.
Join the Lex Autolease Leasing Revolution at leasingrevolution.com.
Coming up at 1 on LBC, Julia Hartley-Brewer.
Was the European Court right to rule that obesity can be classed as a disability? And why do a third of boys never pick up a pen to write for fun? But first, after police boarded a plane at Heathrow to stop a 15-year-old British girl from joining Islamist fighters in Syria, what on earth would make teenage Britons think that life would be better over there?
Leading Britain's conversation, Julia Hartley-Brewer. This afternoon from 1 on LBC.
It's 10-1, and I'm fading fast, but Tony in Charlton's not impressed. James, he writes, no disrespect, but I've seen a Santa run 26 miles in the London Marathon, and all you're doing is sitting at a desk for an hour, and you're struggling? Come on, man, get a grip. P.S. Merry Christmas. Shirley's in Staines. Question or answer, Shirley?
It's a question, James.
Yes.
I've been told several times, and I've just been told recently, that I have a high pain threshold. Now, I can't figure out if that's because it's mental and I'm very, very brave, or it's something to do with my body, my system.
Where were you told this? What was happening when you were told?
I've been told that I was in hospital at a particular time. That's when it came to know it, and I never asked for any painkillers. And they kept on saying, oh, she's got a high pain threshold.
I wish you'd got on earlier. I hope we've got time to answer this, because I find it absolutely fascinating. I think I've got quite a low pain threshold, but it changed at puberty, because I'd tell you why. I used to be really good at cross-country running. And people who are really good at cross-country running must have high pain thresholds, mustn't they? It's like being a Tour de France cyclist or something like that. The pain just does.
Yes, it certainly must be, yeah.
And then after puberty, I was rubbish at cross-country running. So what sort of things make you think you've got a high pain threshold? What are the sort?
Well, I very rarely take painkillers, not because I'm scared of them, but I very rarely
need them.
And I had children and never ever had any.
Oh wow, that's more impressive than not taking the odd Panadol, giving birth.
All I wanted to do
yes.
was get it over and done with, and they kept sort of offering this, that, and the other thing, and I said, no, I just want to get this over and done with, and that's when they started cooing and saying, oh, you've got a high pain threshold. But I don't think I'm particularly brave, and I just wonder if it's something that's built into your system.
I love this question. I really hope we can get an answer. 0345 6060973. What controls the pain threshold? Is it mental or physical or both? Or neither, I suppose, although that's unlikely. Just by way of balance, you know how important balance is to me. This from Mama Reese. That James O'Brien dude is looking decidedly hot in his Santa garms. Hot as in wow, not covered in sweat. Hashtag, thank you. Mike is in High Wycombe. Mike, question or answer?
Question, James?
Yes.
Chickens' eggs. Do big chickens lay big eggs? Do little chickens lay little eggs? Or can big chickens lay little eggs and vice versa?
I thought you were going to say what came first. So that's not really suitable for mystery hour, mate. We're here all day. I can answer this with reference to my own dead late chickens.
Right.
When I tweeted one of the eggs that one of them laid, because it was about twice the size of her normal ones. And similarly, if they're a bit under the weather or they've had a bit of a freak out with thunder or fireworks or something like that, they can sometimes lay really tiny ones as well.
Really?
Yeah. So I would say the difference. Can you see me at the moment, dressed as Father Christmas?
No, I can't. I'm afraid I'm sitting in the kitchen.
Well, you're gonna have to witness the podcast of this then, because I'm going to now show you.
I'll have a look later.
I'm going to show you using the power of sight how big these eggs were. So the average sized eggs that my chickens used to lay before they were cruelly killed by a fox for no reason other than the fox's own pleasure, that would be about the normal height of the egg. Okay?
Right.
I love the way you're joining in even though you can't see me. So I think that's really nice of you, Mike. So that would be
categories, James, aren't there? There's extra large, medium, and small.
Yeah, that will be designed. That will be the same birds laying the same eggs most of the time. So yes is the answer to your question. They can lay different ones, but most. Hang on, I was enjoying that visual treat for the listeners. Don't forget to make the right noises again, Mike. Okay, so here's once again. That's the normal sized egg. That would be your daily egg.
Right.
And the smallest one she laid would probably have been no bigger than that.
Right.
You could have done an ooh then. Let's do it again, all right?
I'm trying.
No, come on, Mike. Come on, mate. I've given you quite a big part to play in this pantomime.
No, I know.
Right, let's do it again.
Yeah.
So this would be the normal size of the egg there, Mike, about like that, yeah?
Right.
Okay.
Right,
yeah. And the smallest one she ever laid would be about like that.
Ooh.
But the biggest one, and I'll leave you to decide on your own noise here, my friend, given what laying this egg involved. The biggest one she ever laid, I kid you not, was probably about that big.
Crikey O'Reilly.
Happy Christmas, Mike. It's 12:54. Charlie's in Chertsey. Charlie, question or answer?
It's a question, James.
Yes.
Why is the cold tap always on the right-hand side of the sink and not on the left-hand side? Because I remember in the early days, my grandma only used to have one tap on the old stone sink.
Yes.
So and that used to be, if memory serves me correctly, in the middle. So who decided that cold would go to the right and hot would go to the left? Because being right-handed, when I've got my toothbrush in my right hand, it's easier to turn on the left-hand tap, which is the hot, and put the toothbrush under because of the size of the sink.
In other countries, sometimes in other countries it is the other way around.
Yeah, but why then so much in England? It's what we used to. But even, you say in other countries, yes, but a lot of them now, and we have I think they call it a monoblock tap, so it's one tap with a lever, you go left and right. They all have the cold to the right and the hot to the left still.
Yeah. So, who did it first? How did it catch on?
And why? Yeah, who and why? Yeah, how did it catch on? Because I remember the one tap, and then we had two.
No, please don't do it again. Don't do it again. I got the question. I quite like it. You're on. Was it anything to do with Armitage Shanks?
Or Thomas Crapper? I don't know.
Oh no!
They were the ones that made it to start with.
This is true. It's 12:56. Let's get an answer for Charlie about his taps. Meanwhile, Angel is in Hendon. Oh, a Christmas angel. How timely. Hello, Angel.
Hi, I'm calling to answer the question about the high pain threshold.
Oh, good.
Basically, your pain. We had this discussion a while ago about someone called in their wife was always cold, they were always hot, and I was explaining that we have a central nervous system that controls, processes information through our brain. It comes into our muscles, our joints, our skin, our sense of smell, taste, all that kind of stuff. And some people's brain processes more of these sensations more quickly. Some people's brain processes less of these sensations. Like some people are really bothered by mild sounds or mild smells, and other people don't even pick them up.
But surely on something, I understand that, and I'm sure it's most of the answer. But on something like running a marathon or cycling in the Tour de France, surely at some point in that process.
Yeah, no, because you have increased adrenaline, which is a pain reliever in itself.
Yeah, but everyone's got that. There's something about Lance Armstrong.
Producers will be different in different people.
Yeah. So
also your sensory, and I will just point out, going back to your point about before you're a teenager and after, your hormone levels and various other changes in our body as we grow up change the way our brain processes the information it receives through our central nervous
system. So I probably was a good athlete before puberty.
It's possible. I didn't know you then, so I can't.
I came second in the school cross-country race when I was 12, and I practically came last when I was 13.
I can't comment on that specifically.
No, fair enough. What are your qualifications? Remind me of your qualifications.
Paediatric occupational therapist specialising in sensory processing.
Can't really say fairer than that, can you? Hey? Oh. That's it for another year. Let's just squeeze in Mehmet in Streatham with a quick answer. What is it, Mehmet?
It's regarding to the hard shoulder.
Yes.
It's basically soft shoulders were gravel covered, while hard shoulders were tarmac covered. The shoulder part comes from when you used to have a ditch running alongside of the road.
So a hard shoulder is a filled-in ditch and then covered in tarmac.
Yeah, and the road used to be the centre of the road used to be known as the crown. And then you have the shoulder running down to the ditch, which were known as the arms.
Oh, you're good. Qualifications?
None.
None. Give them a round of applause quickly before I get unkind and uncharitable. Oh, man, I'm glad that's over. We will be back in January with another Mystery Hour. The show Normal returns at 10 o'clock tomorrow. I'm James O'Brien. You're listening to LBC. The next voice you'll hear belongs to Julia Hartley-Brewer.
Thank you very much indeed, James. Coming up later in the show, the European Court has ruled that obesity can be classed as a disability. Do you think the court was right to rule on that? Plus a third